Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so we have this sort of strange camera angle. Since you can't see anything, it's always good to press the R1 button to take aim. Um, in Resident Evil 2 and onward, pressing R1 automatically locks onto any nearby enemy. The original game did not have that feature. You kind of had to just aim the weapon and hope that you were going to hit what you were aiming at, and hope for the best. With weapons like the shotgun, that's not really a problem. Oh, let me show you this. This is the only self-aware zombie in the entire Resident Evil series. And what I mean by that is there's a zombie in that bathtub. Okay? Not joking, there's actually a zombie in that bathtub. It's always good to search the room first, though, before you do anything like take an action like that. But I guess that zombie's trying to drown himself. Um, because he's self-aware. He doesn't want to be a zombie anymore. What have you done? You have foiled my attempt to drown myself. I am once more doomed to persist in this reanimated state of undeath. Curse you, sir. Curse your very name. You know what? I'm just gonna let you try again. Didn't mean to interrupt. I'll just be on my way now. Poor guy. He just wanted to find some peace. Well, we're gonna help him with that. We're gonna help him find some peace. Preferably with a shotgun. Okay, now this room here, some of you are going to be immediately familiar with. This is the booby trap room that's right outside the shotgun room. There's a trap that will go off in that last room I was in. The ceiling will come down and crush you. And the way that it activates is you take the shotgun off of the rack that's in here. Watch, I'm heading over to it. There it is. You take that shotgun, you leave, and the ceiling will start to come down. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to do that right now because my inventory is full, so I can't really pick up the shotgun. And there's also no typewriter to use up those ink ribbons, so we'll just have to come back. With Chris, you're screwed. You're going to need a broken or shotgun later on that you find, and you'll put it there in place of the real shotgun, and then you're good to go. With Jill, you can either do that, or if you take the shotgun, don't put anything in its place, and then set off the trap, Barry happens to come along and will actually save you just in time. He also happens to make a hilarious, although I find a bit tasteless, joke at Jill's expense. He's all, "That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich." Which, if you think about it, is kind of a dick thing to say to somebody who almost died. I'm surprised Jill wasn't more upset than she was at that point. Barry's kind of a dick. A well-meaning dick. I mean, he didn't give her his Magnum. You know? "Sorry, Jill, if you'd been in there and you'd had my Magnum, you would have blown the lock right off. But we both know you're not prepared. Your soft, delicate hands aren't prepared to handle such a fine weapon." Good old Barry. Fail! Too slow. So here we are in yet another iconic area of the game. And we're surrounded on both sides by zombies. There's one up the stairs. Boom. And in the older Resident Evil games, and actually in this game, the original game, you had to press a button just to go upstairs, and then you couldn't control your character once they were heading up those stairs. Um, that ended with Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. It was still in Resident Evil Code Veronica for the Dreamcast at the time. But there was one good thing about that. The zombies couldn't travel upstairs. Stairs were off limits. In Resident Evil 3, however, if you tried that stunt with the stairs, the zombies would just puke on you. No, seriously, they would puke on you. They would actually puke on you, and it did damage. Toxic zombie vomit damage. Okay, so right here we have a document that's telling us that those beings, I guess they're referring to zombies, aren't necessarily dead just because they stop moving, and that it's probably a good idea to burn them so that they won't come back. So we have this fuel canteen right here, and there's a jug of kerosene right there that you'll fill it up with. You do need a lighter though, and for Chris, his personal item, which is an item that doesn't require any of the inventory slots, it's just his item that he carries around with. His item is the lighter. With Jill, she's going to need a slot for her lighter to use to burn the zombies with. Oh, and here we have the crate. All the old Resident Evil games had the crate. You could put all your items in there, and every crate was the same. So any other save room you were in, you could just pull out what you put in another crate in some other room. And that's the small key I was telling you about that Chris needs to open certain locked doors. The typewriter is your save point. Save points are becoming somewhat of a novelty these days. All these new modern games, everything auto-saves. You don't have to really do anything. I kind of miss the good old save point, though. Yep. Yeah. Didn't see that coming, did you? That was my defensive item. And he's still not dead. Knife in the brain and all. Okay, so there's a trademark pool of blood that forms underneath a zombie when it's quote-unquote dead, as in not going to get up anymore. You can't really see it right now because of just where he's located, but you always look for that when you're killing a zombie. You don't know if he's dead for sure. And I mentioned that Chris's personal item was the lighter, but I've never once seen him light up a cigarette in any Resident Evil game. As he uses it for concerts. Okay, see, now watch this. Burn, spawn of evil. Burn. And auto lock says there's something over there. I know this looks bad, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, more violence. Yeah, I get off on violence. The other thing is, well, you'll see it in a minute. To check and see if the zombie's dead or not, the auto lock will still aim in their direction. See, he's not turning around when I aim. That means they're both quote-unquote dead. Burn, foul denizens of the dark. It's too bad you can't burn them both at once. Burn, wicked creature, burn. I'm sure some of you can recognize this area. It's also pretty memorable. Some of you are thinking there's a save room at the bottom. Yes, there is. There's also another corpse. Auto aim will tell you if it's alive or not. So we're gonna have to burn him at some point. But sadly, I just used up my fuel canteen on those other two zombies. This is one of the most important save rooms in the entire game. It's kind of a focal point for a lot of the things you're going to have to do later on. And traditionally, save rooms in Resident Evil games have a distinctive music. It's not the same tune or anything, but it's more soothing. Oh, excuse me for a minute. Yeah, that key my daughter gave you doesn't work anymore. I changed the locks. You'll have to find some other innocent girl's maiden head to spoil, you degenerate. And scary music means shit's happening. Yeah, it came through the door. They come through the doors in this game. Although that part was admittedly pretty scripted. It only happens from time to time. They don't all do it. You don't have to worry about them chasing you from room to room or anything. None shall escape the holy flame. Okay, so why are we burning them? What are they going to turn into? Some of you already know that they eventually mutate into lickers, those things from Resident Evil 2 with the long tongues and the exposed brains. Well, they turn into something else first. They turn into that. See? Not crazy, I was burning them for a reason. It means we're going to have to deal with Stan again at some point.